Good morning. My name is Baba Anthony, and I am with Okanran Sode Temple here in Miami, Florida. Thank you for joining us for another Ifa Temple service. Let us start this morning with our morning prayers. Ibashe akamara, Ibashe olodumare obatere kaye, Ibashe korumila eleri queen. Ibashe to Akoda, Ibashe to Asheta, Ibashe to my Ori, Ibashe to Obatala, Ibashe to all the Eramoli on the right hand side of Olodumare, Ibashe to all the Eramoli on the left hand side of Olodumare, Ibashe to my Aluo, Jesus Montero, Ibashe to my Oyubona, Miguel Avila, Ibashe to my Baba Ifa Kolade, Ibashe to Baba Ramin, Ibashe to Baba Felix, Ibashe to Baba Jose, Ibashe to Baba Amos, Ibashe to Chief Salabede Popola, Ibashe to all my brothers and sisters in Ifa and Orisha who have offered me their support over the years. Ibashe to my mother, Ibashe to my father, Ibashe to my wife, and Ibashe to my children. Ifa. I come this morning as we begin our morning prayers, and I'm asking for your support, not only for myself, for all the members of Okanran Sode Temple, and all those watching, to please bring good things into our life as we begin these messages. Ogunda warning. The ocean is filled to the brim. Lagoon is filled to capacity. Alasan's going to our son. Alasan's going to our son. The owl at the top of the rock. The elders thought over the matter and realized it was no longer favorable. They used their mustaches to cover their faces and spread their beards firmly over their chests. These are the declarations of Ifa to Isheshe and to the head of every oracle to Nile Ife. What is one's Isheshe? Olodumare is one's Isheshe. It is Isheshe with the peace before appeasing any Orisha. One's Ori is one's Isheshe. It is Isheshe with the peace before appeasing any Orisha. One's mother is one's Isheshe. It is Isheshe with peace before appeasing any Orisha. One's father is one's Isheshe. It is Isheshe with peace before appeasing any Orisha. Male genital organs once Isheshe. It is Isheshe with peace for appeasing any Orisha. Female genital organs once Isheshe. It is Isheshe with peace for appeasing any Orisha. Isheshe is the father of all Ututu. It is Isheshe with peace for appeasing any Orisha. The Isheshe of our mother's lineage. Isheshe of our father's lineage. May they have a say in all that we do. It is Isheshe with peace for appeasing any Orisha. Ifa, I pray that the Isheshe of our lineage, the tradition of our lineages of our mother and father, are here to support us in all of our endeavors so that we may continue to see the good things of life. Ashe. Oshe Ogunda. Orumila says, let us be thankful. I say we need to be thankful. They asked for rats, fish, birds, and beasts to be thankful. They all asked why. Orumila responded that it is because you enjoy food and drink. They all said there was no need to be thankful. Consequences of this ingratitude leads to the inglorious death of rats, fish, birds, and beasts. Orumila says, let us be thankful. I say we need to be thankful. They asked the human beings to be thankful, and the human beings asked why. Orumila responded because of food and drink, which you all enjoy. It was only the human beings that said there was need to be thankful. Ifa, I have come to show my gratitude. If one has shown benevolence, then we must show gratitude. Ifa, I have come to show my gratitude. Ashe. Àwa dúpẹ́, àwa bùrẹ́, àwa dúpẹ́ o, àwa bùrẹ́, a dúpẹ́ àná wa ó bòrè torí bò Olódùmarè. Àwa dúpẹ́, àwa bùrẹ́, àwa dúpẹ́ o, àwa bùrẹ́. Adúpẹ́ àná wa ó bòrè torí bò orí ẹ̀mí. Àwa dúpẹ́, àwa bùrẹ́, àwa dúpẹ́ o, àwa bùrẹ́. Adúpẹ́ àná wa ó bòrè torí bò irúnmọlẹ̀. Àwa dúpẹ́, àwa bùrẹ́. Àwa dúpẹ́ o, àwa bùrẹ́. A dúpẹ́ àná wa ó bòrè torí bò lẹ́gùn lọ́sà. Ashe. Eroso ni tutu. Pounded yam without soup can be difficult to consume. This was the Ifa cast for a tutu, the child of Abani England. He whose attitude was not acceptable, he who was full of bad character, he whose character has prevented us from coming to Ifa's domain. Now we have come to solicit on behalf of the Tutu. We have come to beg on behalf of Ututu. Father, please forgive this provocation and forgive and let us beg on behalf of Ututu. Oromila responded, those who come to beg on behalf of Ututu, those who are soliciting on behalf of Ututu, how many children does Ifa have that he would cast one out? Those who come to beg on behalf of Ututu. Ashe. Ofumeji, Hepa Odu, the king who molds human beings, the king who molds human destiny, the king who supports and assists human beings, the king who molds human character, the king who molds human beings is the name given to Orishanla. The king who molds human destiny is the name given to Oruna. The king who supports and assists human beings is the name given to one to Ori. The king who molds human character is the name given to Olodumare. Orangu Meji, I call on you by your formula, which is known as Epa Odu. You are the ones who help in organizing one's life for one's life to be fruitful. You are the ones who help in organizing one's life for one's life to be rewarding. Please come and help me organize my life, for it to be blessed with wealth, for it to be blessed with children, for it to be blessed with all the areas of life. It is impossible to see the depth of the sea. Do not let people see evil in me. Do not let me be disgraced. It is impossible to see the depth of the river. All what I do not let people dig up evil in me. Orangu Meji, I call on you by your formula, which is known as Epa Odu. Please let my matters be fruitful and rewarding. Ashe. Oshe Torah. Tiny are the feet of Tubu. A stripe of chameleon is not big enough to use this headgear. Had it been enough to use this headgear, and I've taken it home and adorned my head with it. This was the E5 cast for Wude Lawa going on a spiritual mission to EJ Bulan. We call him the locust bean seller and pay him money. We call him that Wude Lawa with respect in EJ Bulan. Ashe. Oshe Torah. Akekeni Bagisa. The actual stripes of the tree is the one who cast E5 for Rumila who's going to receive Iban Ashe from Olodumare. If an owl says that we shall be wealthy, we shall surely be wealthy. Akekeni Bagisa, in the mouth of an owl resides Iban Ashe, in the mouth of an owl. If an owl says that we shall have good sprouts, we shall certainly have good sprouts. Akekeni Bagisa, in the mouth of an owl resides Iban Ashe, in the mouth of an owl. If an owl says that we shall have good children, we shall certainly have good children. Akekeni Bagisa, in the mouth of an owl resides Iban Ashe, in the mouth of an owl. If an owl says that we shall have all the blessings in Iran life, we shall certainly have all the blessings in Iran life. Akekeni Bagisa, in the mouth of an owl resides Iban Ashe, in the mouth of an owl. Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi o, Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi. Gbogbo tí mo bá máa mọ̀ wí o, erúmọlẹ̀ ó bà, Ifá ó bà o, Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi. Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi o, Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi. Gbogbo tí mo bá máa mọ̀ wí o, erúmọlẹ̀ ó bà, Ifá ó bà o, Ashe Orisha lẹ́nu mi. Tí mo dúró, tí mo súre, tí mo bẹ̀rẹ̀, tí mo súre, tí mo kúnlẹ̀, tí mo súre, tí mo jókòó, tí mo súre, ire tí mo sú orí ti bọ́. Let us hold our oris. Ori eni laure eni, ori eni laure eni. Moji lowuro mofo mori, ori eni laure eni. Bobo ire itasu. Ifa ogba oloru. Àtìgbà kí àjò Ifá ò gbà olóru ó ṣe àwò ẹ̀là Ifá ti gbọ́n. Ifa, I come to pray to you and ask for your blessings and support again for all the members of Okanran-Sode Temple. As I share this message of Ifa, a journey of self-discovery, I'm asking that we hear the messages and that you remove all ego and offer guidance, protection, support for all of the members of Okanran-Sode and all those listening and supporters of our temple. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Good morning. Again, my name is Baba Anthony. Thank you for joining me today for our Ifa Temple service. I'm with Okanran-Sode Temple here in Miami, Florida. So, the topic for today is something I've thought about for quite a while. And the thought to me is that Ifa really is a journey of self discovery. And what makes it the most interesting thing is it's a different journey of self discovery for all of us. We all find Ifa at a different time in our life. We all find, whether we're young or whether we're old, it means something different to all of us. And that's what's really interesting about Ifa and makes it interesting and unique for each of us. Our experience is different. So I thought I would share essentially what, my own personal journey of self-discovery kind of looks like. And I'm curious to also know about your journey of self-discovery, right? So the first thing I want us to do is let us define what I mean by self-discovery. Self-discovery is the process of learning more about who you are so that you can better recognize and understand your authentic self. You might already know your own internal core values and your general likes and dislikes, right? But self-discovery goes much deeper than that. A part of that, I also like to think about the idea of self-knowledge. Right? Self-knowledge is crucial to uh, the understanding and regulating of your emotions, your personality traits, your behaviors. It gives you a greater self-awareness, right? The ability to set better goals for yourself and the potential to achieve more through personal growth. So thinking about self-discovery, something we should know is that it's a multi-step process. It's not something that happens overnight. So as you listen today, I'm curious to know where you are in this process. And if my steps help you, think about how you can improve on your process of self-discovery. Now, I want to put this out there. I believe that the process of self-discovery is nowhere close to being over. As a matter of fact, it's a process that is just beginning for myself. So as I share, I want you to keep that in mind. So let's start off with the first Odu, and it comes from the Odu of Ogbeate, Ogbe Irete. It is not advisable for one to wake up in the dawn of one's life without knowing the Odu that gave birth to one. This was the declaration of Ifa to Olupo Ala Elu, he who reclined, and was weeping in lamentation for his inability to achieve all the ire of life, he whose life was as hard and as tough as pebbles. He was advised to offer a bow and to undergo Ifa initiation. He complied. Before long, not too far, all ire of life came in abundance. Here comes Ifa, the embodiment of Ashe, the holy palm tree that ensures its predictions swiftly come to pass. So this particular Odu from Ogbeate is an Odu that tells us that for all of us, all Ifa practitioners, it's important to know the Odu that gave birth to us. It's important to know our life Odu. It's important that as practitioners of Ifa, we go through Itefa to divine and figure out what our life Odu is and what, who we are and what we decided to do when we came to live this life. Again, as I said earlier, this process is different for all of us. Some of us are brought into the practice of Ifa, the culture, the lifestyle of Ifa as young children. Some of us are brought into this as adults. And so it means different things for us at different times in our life. However, without that information, we're kind of just moving through life without some very important things, right? Do we know the taboos that are important for us? Are we living our life consuming our taboos and having challenges everywhere we go? Right? That's something to think about. Are we living our life with an idea or decision of understanding what it is we said we wanted to do when we came to this world? Maybe we're in a career that is against our destiny. We're working against our own selves, right? Instead of in a career where we may be happier and more successful. These are all things that are identified through Itefa. Another thing that is important is it tells you about, maybe the people you should try to surround yourself with, the colors you should wear, different types of things. So in Tefa is important. Again, as Ifa says, it's important that we do not live our life without knowing the Odu that we gave birth to us, the Odu that is a part of our life, and the Odu that contains our destiny. And for those of you that do not know what Odu is, the best way that I can think about it is that Ifa contains its own version of a holy corpus or a holy book of information that isn't written down. And this book of knowledge, or this knowledge passed down by our elders, contains 256 chapters. And an Odu represents one of those chapters. And each one of us has our own personal Odu and way that we should be living our life based on what we decided we wanted to do when we spoke to Olodumare, when we spoke to God. So that's the importance of knowing our life Odu. Let's go on to the next verse. And this comes from the Odu of Obeshe. The Odu of Obeshe. The shoulders are the branches of the neck. This was Ifa's declaration to Makan Juola. Do not be in a hurry to attain honor, the child of Agbani Regun. He was advised to offer a bow. He complied. Ifa will not perish in 20 years. Those aspiring to be children of Orunmila, Ifa cautions you never to be in a hurry. Ifa will not perish in 30 months. Those aspiring to be children of Orunmila, Ifa cautions you never to be in a hurry. This particular Odu is about patience, right? As we are on our own journey of self-discovery, patience is a key factor in our success. Patience is important to everything that we do. We have to realize that life is a journey and life is not a race. We're not trying to hurry up to get somewhere. We're not trying to hurry up and make a family. We're not trying to hurry up and earn money. No, it's a process. It's a long process of figuring out where you need to go, the steps that you need to take. So it's important while we are on our journey that we have patience. Once Ifa uncovers our destiny through Itefa, we have to take time to understand it. As it says in the verse above, Ifa will not perish in 20 years, right? So don't let us be in a rush to get to the next place. I remember when I was initiated or went through the process of Itefa almost 15 years ago now. This month, I celebrate my 15th anniversary. And I thought to myself, one, it opened up a whole new area of knowledge for me, a whole new area of trying to understand, why I was here. Because for me at that point in my life, 15 years ago, I was still looking for purpose. I was still looking for, what is it I'm going to do with myself? Where am I going to go in my career path? How am I going to form my family? All these different things were on my mind. And I really wanted to just get there and figure it out. But honestly, Ifa is what taught me, or at least, so I'm not saying I've completely learned it yet, but Ifa has put me on the path to begin to understand what patience is and the importance of it, having it in our lives. Knowing that we're working towards something is absolutely important. And then when we achieve our goals, or things start to manifest in our life, that feels so much better to me than, running a race and all of a sudden getting that one thing and I'll be like, oh, that's it. All right. We don't want to live our life going, oh, that's it. I've got here. What do I do next? We want to live our life working towards the things that we want to achieve in our life and knowing that in time we will receive it. Right. Ashe. So let's move on to the next Odu in the journey of self-discovery. Okay, let's go to the Odu of Irosun Odi. Irosun Odi. Deliciously do we prepare vegetable soup. With extensive varieties do we display beads. These were Ifa's declarations for Rumila when going to have Wura, pure gold, as his wife. He was advised to offer a bow. He complied. Any Babalao who has extensive knowledge of Ifa, such a Babalao is blessed with pure gold in his stomach. So, thinking about this particular verse, the next step in the journey, we've gone through Itefa. We've started to understand that everything is not a rush. We need to have some patience. The next step that I believe that's really assisted me on my journey is the thought and understanding that wisdom is important. Wisdom is the gold in life, right? The wisdom of Ifa has bettered my life. It has helped support my family. It's helped open my mind and bring a lot more peace, right? As Ifa says, wisdom is like gold in the stomach of the Awo. It will be important to learn about yourself. It'll be important to learn about your daily practice. It will be important to learn your trade. It'll be wisdom that will bring you many blessings. Right? Anyone who's gone through Itefa, I'm sure that you have said to yourself, after going through the 3-day process, and then you hear the priest speaking to you about your Odu, you're like, that was a whole lot of information. How do I make those changes? Well, again, it's going to take time. And then that one conversation is not everything that you're going to learn. It is not. I had an amazing conversation. I have amazing conversations all the times with my elders and those who I consider mentors, those who have shared their knowledge with me. And I remember some time ago, there was a conversation about, some challenges that I was dealing with. And so I reached out to an elder and asked for some feedback and some thoughts. And then he brought to the table a verse of Ifa that I hadn't heard from my own Odu before. And I thought that was amazing. And that verse really applied itself to me and my current situation. And then he shared the Ebo offering and what I should do to try to help, and even how I should try to work on my own character and in this process. Right? It's wisdom, right? Gaining that information, having that knowledge allowed me to take steps in order to better my life. And it was almost, let's say, 13 years after my Itefa that I had heard this verse or heard this information from this elder. It is a blessing. It is a blessing to have elders and people with a deep knowledge of Ifa supporting us and sharing that information with us. That's something that we truly have to remember. So I encourage all of you, as you are moving along on your journey through Ifa, journey through life, and understanding of who you are, that you go in search of wisdom. Don't stop. Be hungry for knowing more, because again, that is your goal that is in your stomach. Next up, let's go to the Odu of Ogbe Iwori. Ogbe Iwori. This goes, gradually, does it become easy? Systematically, does it change from hardship to comfort? This was the Ifa cast for Alaworo Orisha, the officiating Orisha priest, when going to the Ifa Grove to propitiate his father's spirit at the end of the year. He was advised to offer a bow. He complied. This year will be more agreeable to me than the previous year. Comfortably, does the morning dew benefit the shrubs? Ashe. So, this particular verse of Ifa takes me to the next aspect of this path, the journey of self-discovery. Once we do our Itefa, we understand that it'll take some patience, and then we start to go in search of wisdom, we need to think about dedication, right? We need to think about what that means and how we can develop that internally. I shared this quote with my students last week, and I apologize, I don't have the source of the quote, but I think it's an amazing quote that will hopefully help you all, as well as help my students in their process of life and self-discovery. It goes, excuses make today easier and tomorrow harder. Dedication makes today hard and tomorrow easier. Let us think about that for a moment. Excuses make today easier and tomorrow harder. Dedication makes today hard and tomorrow easier. Once we figure out the direction that we need to move in life, we apply our wisdom, we apply our patience, we must work to be more dedicated. Dedicated to our goals, dedicated to our family, dedicated to our work, dedicated to gaining more wisdom, dedicated to bettering ourselves on a daily basis. Because you see, without that dedication, right? Without that dedication, working systematically, as the verse says, working gradually to make things better, without that dedication, tomorrow will never be easier. We have to realize that we're working towards living the best life that we can as Ifa devotees, right? And so there needs to be some part of us that shows a form of dedication. It's a challenge. I know. I deal with it every day myself. I deal with it every day myself. You know, my most recent challenge, I could say, has been, focusing on my health, right? Focusing on my health. I love Ifa and I love to read about Ifa. And so it's easy to say that I try to work towards my dedication in Ifa. And even then I struggle there because sometimes I come home tired. But when I apply this to just trying to take care of my health, there are days that feel hard. There are days that feel difficult. But I still try to do my best, especially now, to wake up early. As one elder said to me, we're in this for the long run. We've got to take care of ourselves. So if we're in this for the long run and we need to take care of ourselves, then I need to think about that, and I need to work on being dedicated, right? Not only for myself, but hopefully the end run, that dedication will spread through Ifa, that dedication will spread to my family, it'll spread to my work, hopefully it'll spread to everything that I'm trying to work on in order to find my success. So I encourage you to do the same. Find your dedication. And it doesn't all need to start today. You don't need to, get off of this meeting and be like, oh, okay, I'm going to run 5 miles today. I'm going to study Ifa for 4 hours. No. Gradually, does it become easy? Systematically, does it change from hardship to comfort, as it says in Obey Worry? So let us apply that to our life, because if we can, I truly believe that we will begin to find success. Ashe? Let us go to our next verse. This comes from the Odu of Ogundameji. Ogundameji. It goes, continue to do what you are doing. We shall see what you shall accomplish in it. This was Ifa's declaration to Ele Rere Ogogo, offspring of he who has a bag full of ire from Olodumare. He was advised to offer a bow, and he complied. Here we have a story of Ele Rere Ogogo. He was coming to live his life. And as he was living his life, he was saying to himself, he had many thoughts. Many thoughts. Will I find my success? Will I have a successful life? Will I have all the things that I need to make other people's lives better? Right. And before Elerere Ogogo came to live here, live his life here on earth, goes to have Ifa cast. I will say that he will come to live this life as a very successful person. He will come to do well, but he must work hard. He must show his dedication, right? He must continue to keep himself beside Ifa. Elerere Ogogo, says Ashe. So he offers his ebo, and after he offers his ebo, he has a change in the way that he lives his life. The most important thing that he heard was that he needed to be dedicated and closer to Ifa. And so that's what he did. Day in and day out. He woke up in the morning, he said his prayers to Ifa, prayed, laid down, and saluted Ifa, continued about his day. At nighttime, he continued with his prayers at nighttime. He was thankful for everything he had in his life. Every time he needed to offer ebo, he offered his ebo. And he worked hard. He worked hard at his devotion. He focused on trying to become closer to Ifa, trying to understand the lessons that Ifa was trying to teach him on a daily basis. And because of this, his life started to get better and better. People were looking at Elerere Ogogo and were looking at him going, wow. They saw everything that he wanted to work on or accomplish in his life. It was as if he had blessings of gold in his hand. As a matter of fact, that he was known around town by everyone else as the offspring who has a bag full of ire from Olodumare, from God himself. Right? That's how he lived his life. But they didn't know in the background that Elerere Ogogo was a disciplined and devoted Ifa devotee. He lived his life understanding that he had a destiny that he had to fulfill. He lived his life knowing that he wanted to find success not only for himself, but for all those around him. He lived his life knowing that in order to succeed, he needed the help of Olodumare and the Orishas. So that's what he did. He dedicated himself. And so as we listen to the verse again, think about this. Continue to do what you are doing. We shall see what you shall accomplish in it. This was Ifa's declaration to Elerere Ogogo, offspring of he who has the bag full of ire from Olodumare. He was advised to offer ebo, he complied. I stretch my hands to receive my own wealth. Here comes Elerere Ogogo, the offspring of he who has a bag full of ire from Olodumare. I stretch my hands to receive my own spouse. Here comes Elerere Ogogo, the offspring of he who has a bag full of ire from Olodumare. I stretch my hands to receive my own children. Here comes Elerere Ogogo, the offspring of he who is a bag full of ire from Olodumare. I stretch my hands to receive my own longevity. Here comes Elerere Ogogo, offspring of he who has a bag full of ire from Olodumare. I stretch my hands to receive all the ire in life. Here comes Elerere Ogogo, the offspring of he who has the bag full of ire from Olodumare. Let us think about that. I stretch my own hands to receive my own wealth. Ifa is saying that if we are being dedicated and we're working towards our destiny, it is in our Ori to receive it. It's through our dedication that leads us to our blessings, right? And as we receive those blessings, it is important that we show our gratitude. It's important that we show our gratitude to the Orishas. It's important that we show our gratitude to Olodumare. right? Because without them, many times we find ourselves in these struggles. And many times we don't realize that our own Ire is in our hands, but we must stretch our hands forward to receive it. And again, as I said when we began this service today, that each of us has our own destiny. Each of us has our own way of moving through life. And so we have to think about what that means for us, right? The story of Elebere Ogogo is about a person who found his destiny and committed to it, right? The people who were around him and watched him succeed at every step or every challenge that he was taking on, they started to say to themselves, my goodness, he is a person who is blessed with a bag full of Ire from Olodumare. However, they didn't see the hard work that it took for him to get to each step in his life. They weren't watching him go to do his daily devotion. They weren't watching him to go and see him putting his head down at night before he slept, praying to Olodumare for support. They didn't see all of those different things. They didn't see his personal closeness to Ifa. Right? We're going to go through life with so many different challenges. So many different challenges. And when we get to that next step and when we accomplish the next thing, people are going to be asking us, well, how did you do that? How did you get there? They won't know the hard work that you put in. They won't know what you did to accomplish your goals. So it's important that you do your work on your journey, right? As I said, this is a process of self-discovery. So please understand that when we find out, our purpose, that we must work towards it. It's what we do that will make our journey successful. Right? Ashe. Let's go on to one more Odu, and this comes from the Odu of Ogbe Ogunda. Ogbe Ogunda. Those who are envious of one's achievements are also those who throw one's belongings into the water. Those who are not envious are those who remove one's belongings from the water. These were Ifa's declarations to Mogbarimu. I hold on to my Ori, the child of Orisha. When you wake up early in the morning, hold on to your Ori. One's Ori is one's panacea for success. Now we understand that our Ori is our head, but our Ori is also a representation of our personal destiny, right? We must hold on to our own Ori. This particular verse is really about envy, right? As it starts, those who are envious of one's achievements are also those who throw one's belongings into the water. We can't live our lives being envious. We can't live our lives wanting to have the destiny of someone else, right? I can share stories throughout Ifa about that being a complete failure for people when they try to live someone else's destiny. We all have our own path, right? We all have our own path of self-discovery, right? We'll see others around us on their path. We'll see others around us rise way faster than us. We'll see others around us sit below us waiting to make it to their point, right? But it's important that through all of this process, this journey of self-discovery, that we are looking for our own path, and we're identifying it, we're discovering it, and we're focusing on it, right? We cannot find ourselves getting lost, getting envious, thinking about what other people are doing. A good practice for all of us is to think about this. As we wake up in the morning, we hold our Ori. As we wake up in the morning, we hold our Ori. We've all come to this world with an Ori for potential of success, right? An Ori with a potential of success. That's what I mean, right? Sometimes our success comes much later in life. Sometimes success starts very early. But we all have different places, different moments of success. And we as Ifa practitioners have to do what we can so that we can support that success. For me, it's about moving on this journey. It's about showing dedication. It's about trying to live the best life that I can. Sometimes I get in my own head. I am not perfect. I am not perfect. Sometimes I get in my own head. It happens. I'm sure it's also happened to you. But we have to consider that everything takes time. And one of the greatest statements that when I met some years ago, when I met Araba Ifa Tokun Ogundabede for Ogundabede Temple here in Miami, when I met him some years ago, he said to me, Olodumare's timing is perfect. That was beautiful. Olodumare's timing is perfect. Like, let's think about that for a moment. We want to see everything we want to see now. I get it. We want to be happy now. But sometimes we have to go through those challenges in order to enjoy the blessings that we're going to get from Olodumare. We have to go through those challenges. That's why each one of our journeys is different. Right? That's the important part of this entire process. So let me wrap up the topic of today and just bring it all back together so that we can think about, again, where we are on our journey and what steps we are taking. And maybe your journey looks different from mine. I hope it does, because we all have our individual paths, right? But for my personal self, these are the things I like to think about. It starts with step one. We learn who we are. That's through the identification of our life Odu. Right? We learn who we are. Step two, we be patient in the process. Not everything is going to happen overnight. Sometimes those blessings will be absolutely great. Sometimes they'll seem like they're just out of reach, right? But they won't happen overnight. So patience is important to understand. Number three, it's important that we acquire wisdom, and we acquire wisdom from good elders, right? Because with that wisdom, we'll start to understand our own personal Odu, because that's where it begins, with our own personal Odu. We start to understand that, right? We start to understand the importance of patience in our life. As we have wisdom, then we can start to share it with those around us. Now that we know we've learned who we are, will be, we understand patience, we started working on our wisdom, then we must show dedication to our own personal destiny. Right? We've got to show our dedication. We have to work hard towards it, and don't stray. You will. Even I have strayed from time to time. But that's what we have to do. We have to show our dedication. And last but not least, we must live our own destiny and do not be envious of others. As a matter of fact, the best way to do it is to celebrate others' successes. So when others around you rise up, you support them and congratulate them and let them know that they are doing what they need to do to get on their path. But don't think that has anything to do with your destiny. Right? Your time will come, just as my time will come. Ashe. These are the steps that I think about. These are the steps that I hope you all are thinking about as you are on your own path of discovery as an Ifa devotee. Realize it is a journey. Ifa is not a race. It is a journey. to understand what it all means. Why are we here? And when we get to that point, we start to understand just a little bit, then we need to start thinking to ourselves, how can we make this world a better place so that those who come after us will have the ability to enjoy what we have done. Aboru, aboye, aboshisheo boato. I thank you for joining me for today's conversation. You know, I know that we're all on our own journey, and I hope that you all on your journey will continue to find your successes in your lives and will continue to enjoy the fruits of Ifa, right? And I just want to say thank you. I see some Awos that are joining us today. Baba Coit up in North Carolina, Baba Ade up in Chicago, Baba Raul over in Fort Myers area. Thank you all for joining us today. Please share your thoughts. Mention it in the comments. What are some of the things you do on your own personal journey for success? I hope you all have a blessed day and a blessed week. Thank you for joining me. Again, Aburu Aboye, Aboshishio Boato.